The archives of the National Library of Scotland offer many fascinating insights into Edinburgh's food heritage, but one of the most detailed is the account book kept by one Mrs. Dudgeon. She was the housekeeper for the Erskine family, who had an Edinburgh townhouse in Argyll Square, and the record she left gives us a fascinating insight into the daily diet of a middle-class Georgian family.
Most of the entries are for food. So she's buying meat, she's buying fish, she's buying bread, vegetables, salt, vinegar, just about anything that the family would need. She bought these goods from a variety of sources. Some would come from street traders, some from people who came to the door to sell, say, fish, but there were also shops at that time in Edinburgh. It's probably the most detailed household account book we have for the mid-18th century.
Mrs. Dudgeon would have been able to buy her ingredients just a short walk from the family home, in one of the city's bustling street markets, which have left traces in many of the names you can still see in the old town. Livestock was bought and sold in the grass market, and butchered in the slaughterhouses nearby. The meat was then sold in Flesh Market Close, just off the high street. One old resident reminisced that no spot on earth once like the old Flesh Market Close of Edinburgh for a spare rib steak. The taverns nearby were kept by the butchers' wives, and so gained an excellent reputation for their steaks. In the darksome den into which we dived, lucky midrets of savoury memory, hungry customers consumed beefsteaks by wholesale at all hours of the night and day. Fish was always in good supply in Edinburgh, and so Fish Market Close would have been a particularly busy and lively place. The quality of the produce was second to none, particularly the shellfish, which were often exported to London and the continent. However, according to Lord Cockburn, the market itself was not the most hygienic. The fish were generally thrown out on the street at the head of the close, whence they were dragged down by dirty boys and even dirtier women, and then sold unwashed, for there was not a drop of water in the place, from rickety, scaly wooden tables exposed to all the rain, dust and filth. Fruit and vegetable stalls were associated with the area around the Tron Kirk. Although Mrs. Dudgeon's accounts show daily purchases of vegetables, fruit is more of a rarity. A particular delicacy was the arrival of strawberries from Roslin, available for just a short few weeks in June. The writer William Creech estimated that 100,000 Scots pints were sold every year during the short period they were available. The high street would also have resounded with the distinctive cries of street sellers, advertising everything from wall cresses and parpy to green kale and leeks come by in heaps. The cries of the New Haven fishwives were even immortalised in the folk song, Caller Heron. Wha'll buy my caller heron, their bonny fish and halesome faring. In the 20th century, street markets gradually faded away, but the tradition was revived 15 years ago with the Edinburgh Farmers' Market. Today, this award-winning market takes place on Castle Terrace under the spectacular backdrop of Edinburgh Castle. The market offers a huge variety of fresh local produce from over 50 specialist producers and takes place every Saturday between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. The majority of stallholders grow or rear what they sell, making this truly a market where the farm meets the city. Everything from meat and fish to cheese, fruit, vegetables and sweets, and local baking is on offer, in a variety and quality that the assiduous Mrs. Dudgeon could only dream of.